So, what was the most fun part of making this movie?
The set, everything about the set. I remember we had an early call time, and the call time was about like six something in the morning. And I remember I pulled in to the set, and I knew from the beginning like this was going to be absolutely fun. Seeing the light, seeing the all the hands on deck that was able to move around and be a part of it. And I remember I felt like a little kid, like just a kid in a toy shop, just running around, bouncing around, and but I had to keep my composure. I had to keep my focus. But the set, working with Antonio, working with the cast, being a part of that story was completely amazing. And I didn't want it to leave. I wanted to like shoot it again.
So, did you audition for the role?
I did. I did. I actually auditioned for the role. I want to say 2024 of October. This was around my birthday. I remember that. And so about 2 weeks later, Antonio called me and told me I got the role, which was amazing because this was my first time auditioning here in Atlanta and getting a role. So that was a victory for me.
And what drew you to the film? I mean, did you get the script first and then decide to audition, or what drew you to the movie in the first place?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the script yet. I met the guys in a men's day in church in a basketball court. I think somebody introduced me to Antonio. Say, hey, listen, this is an actor from New York. We want to meet you. We want to introduce you to a director here in Atlanta. And I was open to it. I wanted to meet everybody. And so I didn't know about the script. I didn't know about the role. I didn't know about the story. I didn't know anything. He just told me, hey, listen, I got this cool project. Would you be interested? I said, sure. Then I got the script. I read it. I loved it. It's a real conversation. It's a conversation that could happen, can happen. It's something that a lot of people can relate to about truth, about purity, and about having a really strong conversation with your spouse, knowing that you can trust them and that they can listen to you and
Yeah.
hear you out. My wife and I, we've had some really challenging conversations, but that's a part of marriage.
Yeah.
And so I think the realness that comes with it, the conversation, that it can happen, to have all these different perspectives of a conversation, what this would look like, what that would look like. And so it's real talk.
Yeah. Did this role differ in any way from any other roles that you've taken on before?
Oh yeah, yeah. All my roles are different. Yeah, all ever since I had started, this role in particular, this was. It didn't feel like a role to me. It felt like me. I've been married for 5 years, and I've learned a lot from the script about truth and about having an open conversation, knowing that you can come home from work. And what makes it complicated because it's complicated in your mind. But when you have a conversation, it can be. I don't want to say easy because it depends on the situation, but it's a conversation with your wife or your spouse, your husband, that it can happen knowing that you got each other's backs. So this role, it didn't feel like there was not a lot of research that I had to do to prepare for the role. It was, I don't want to say easy, but it was me.
It was natural.
It was natural, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Other than my other roles where taking a long time to really process
Yeah.
the character, the story, before I go on camera, before I go on stage. And we didn't have enough time anyway. So it was, we took about 6, I think the shoot was 8 hours. So no rehearsal. We kind of just got in and we read it like maybe 40 minutes with the cast, all three of us, and cameras was on us. So
Wow.
it was get in, do it, and on to the next.
So, as you heard during the premiere, that slap was heard around the world. How was that in that moment?
Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know I was gonna get slapped. In this, I believe coming into the story to the set, it was supposed to be she was supposed to throw water at me, and we didn't have a change of shirt, and so I remember right between takes, Rita, who played my wife, Rita and I, we were outside talking while the set was turning the camera around. And we come back inside. We're like, all right, we're gonna go shoot again. And then I hear from Antonio, okay, this is where she's gonna slap him. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm gonna get, of course, in a joke way, you know what I mean. But it was just so hilarious how I just walked into the conversation knowing that I was gonna get slapped. But we rehearsed it and we made some magic, some really good camera techniques made it happen. It's funny because I actually forgot I got slapped.
Wow.
You know, so seeing it here in the premiere, I felt that one. I mean, the whole crowd was like, ooh,
Yeah.
you know, and but it was pretty interesting. The timing was perfect. Shout out to the editors and of course Antonio and for Rita, you know, the actress who played my wife. She did an incredible job for that swing, and it was magic. It was really, really magic.
Are you ready for part 2?
Yes, I'm ready. Like I said, I specifically remember that feeling of knowing that we were reaching the end of shooting, and you know, as a kid, the kid in me wanted to do it again, and I remember just like feeling like we gotta continue this story. What happens?
Yeah.
You know, so you know, that's an Antonio conversation, but. But yeah, I'm ready for part 2. I would love to see how these two married couple would bring this all together. Mm-hmm. You know, it kind of ended off where he didn't tell her. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe they'll tell her after dinner, maybe the next day, maybe a whole week. You know, so but I would love to see a conversation between the two characters and see what she says.
Awesome.